If we're ultra dark, and if some of our white friends are also using ultra dark, then what are people darker than us doing? We're all being factored into this one area without taking into account undertones, without taking into account our hydration needs, without taking into account anything.
I went through severe stress on my skin, and I wasn't wearing sunscreen or reapplying sunscreen. Now moving away from that and wearing sunscreen and reapplying has been a game changer for my skin, and that's also why I'm not scared to age.
Like coming into the industry, so many people would say that investors just like, they'll back an idea, they'll love it, like all they need, they'll invest in the person and they're like, we'll love you. And you get there and you're like, am I not good enough?
No. Grants is definitely what saved BEAME and got me this far.
If you had the chance to start over, would you do anything differently or take the same path?
Hi, I'm Eniye.
Hi, I'm Phoebe.
And welcome to Visionaries in Progress. Hi, I'm Eniye. I'm the founder of BEAME. BEAME is a sunscreen brand that creates fun to use and unbox sun care. We do that by including ingredients and scents that keep you coming back. Our ultimate goal is to get people to reapply their sunscreen in a really fun way.
Hi, I'm Phoebe and I'm the co-founder of Caribé. Me and my sister have created a self-tanning mousse for people of colour, and our mission is to break the boundaries of beauty and lifestyle for people of colour.
So we both launched our businesses in response to gaps we saw in products available to us. What was the turning point that made you go from identifying a personal problem to building a business around it?
So me and my sister, we were going to Ascot back in 2015, I think. And essentially we were wearing, I think I was wearing a white dress. My sister was wearing like a white dress with pink florals on it. And we were like, you know what, let's try tanning for the first time, because we'd had friends who have tanned before, we've tanned their backs, you know, like we've been around it, but we just hadn't actually tried it ourselves. So we thought this is the time to do it. We went to our local supermarket, picked up an ultra dark mousse, and honestly, it was just not even close to like our summer tan, because we thought that picking something up that was ultra dark, it would at least give us like a little bit of something. But there was nothing. And we felt like it was really orange. It just like looking back on pictures, it just basically like we didn't put anything on. So essentially at the time we were like, oh, we should bring out a product. I think I was, how many years was that? 16 at the time. So I don't think at 16 years old, I was ever going to do that. So a few years went by, COVID hit, and I feel like during that time, a lot of people just ended up doing something for themselves, or just looking into what can I do that changes my life? What could be better for everyone? You know, just like looked inward a little bit more. And at that point, I guess me and my sister sat around and we were like, you know what, let's just do it. Let's start researching it. Let's start figuring out how to do something, because we also found it kind of crazy that no one at that point had tried to cater to people of colour yet, especially in such a big self-tanning market. And I'd say the only box that got ticked was like a mixed race model, and that's as far as it got. And I think at the point as well when me and my sister tried tanning, we were like, if we're ultra dark, and if some of our white friends are also using ultra dark, then what are people darker than us doing? Like there's literally...
So true.
Yeah, like we're all being factored into this one area without taking into account undertones, without taking into account our hydration needs, without taking into account anything. So I guess that was the turning point. And I think because we just started to really feel like, especially with all the Black Lives Matter movement that was happening at the time, like a lot of things just made us feel like we had to do something more for our community, more for our culture, and feel a bit more connected to it. So that was the turning point, I think, for us.
Makes so much sense.
Yeah.
I love that. And I so resonate with that as well. So I would say my response was, I grew up in a household that I didn't wear sunscreen. My mom, till this day, she refuses to wear sunscreen. She does not believe in it. She just feels like a lot of Black people don't need sunscreen. And that's the narrative I've always carried until like adulthood. But a few years ago, I went through severe stress on my skin, and I wasn't wearing sunscreen or reapplying sunscreen. And I didn't realize when your skin is stressed, it's more vulnerable to sun damage. So my skin just went from even just worse because I wasn't protecting my skin or reapplying. And people sort of don't understand that when you wear sunscreen, it's like not a one and done thing. It's sort of like a reapplication thing. And that's where a lot of damage, really, it just gets worse. So that's why I created the brand. So that's why we focus heavily on reapplication. So, getting to wear sunscreen is great. But after that, people always see it as a one and done thing. So yeah, we focus more on like your emotional well-being and how you're feeling and how it represents in your skin. So my product focuses on stress, so our mist, and it addresses like skin stress. And then yeah, that's like our focus, and that's where it came from.
I love that element of your SPF spray, like the fact that it's taking, I feel like your story is really embodied the product that you've made, and you're so right with the SPF stuff. Like I think I actually only started applying SPF every day probably like 2-3 years ago on my face, and let alone my body. Like we haven't got to that point yet. Let's put it out in the sun.
Honestly, and like it's just been I feel like it's been like a mental thing, like journey for me, trying to also like take myself away that I've never like my mom, how I didn't wear sunscreen, and now moving away from that and wearing sunscreen and reapplying has been a game changer for my skin and my skin health. And I think that's also why I'm not scared to age, because I think I'm more focused on my skin health instead. Yeah, I
love that. And I guess tying that into what we're doing at Caribé as well, we're trying to make people more aware about skin health and the fact that our only option on holiday, or our only option to tan as people of colour, is to go out on holiday and lie out in the sun and literally lie there for like 5 days straight, no activities, and just keep the tan.
Yeah, and it, that is sun damage, and that is damage that happens. So like I love that you can tan at home without having to do that in the sun.
So funding is often a major hurdle for early stage businesses. How has it impacted your journey, and how did you navigate it?
I've only started to see funding sort of come towards the business, like external funding, when I've launched a product. And I'm sure you felt the same, especially in the consumer space with an actual product. A lot of investors or grants they don't really back ideas. They mostly back when it's launched, and to get to that point you need money.
Literally.
So how does that work?
Literally.
So I've found that really tough, but I've leaned on a lot of like accelerators. So that's where I got my first grant from an accelerator which helped me fund my first product development. So I've heavily relied on grants, and funding is going to be a tough one, and it's always going to be a tough one. Grants is definitely what saved BEAME and got me this far, but I would say the only time I've actually really seen and sort of like really like money like come into the business was when we launched on Kickstarter, which is a crowdfunding platform, and then people actually start to see like it, this is real maybe. So I guess that's how I felt. Like every thing I've had to do, I've had to have evidence to prove that, it's a product or it's going to work. And I feel like it is going to be a struggle for a lot of brands out there, and me as well, like the consumer space. Well, that's how I felt with it.
That's why I find it really interesting as well, because I found that when like coming into the industry, so many people would say that investors just like, they'll back an idea, they'll love it, like all they need, they'll invest in the person, and they're like, we'll love you. And you get there and you're like, am I not good enough?
No, it's such a mind game, because like I'm being so serious. I get rejected like every day by investors. You actually have to like just make sure like you're okay before you go into like this investment.
Like wipe the tears.
Yeah, literally just be like, you'll get rejected, and it's normal. It is. It sadly is normal. And that's sort of why I have the ability to kind of pivot. If nothing works out with an investor, I'm like, okay, on to the next one.
Yeah.
On to the next one, on to the next grant. Like I'm moving away from that. But yeah, investment is such a challenge. Like I feel like, or just funding in general around like 100%. Business. And there's grants, but also like not everyone is in a position to go and get even like a loan and things like that. So yeah, I've funded the business a lot through Kickstarter and grants, but even that's still enough because cash flow.
It's one of those things, isn't it? You've got built up your resilience though. I can probably say that for you.
I have.
I agree with you on the grants as well. Like Glossier and Black Girl Fest grant that we got helped us so much because that was 10 grand that came into our account right after we started, or like right after we launched,
Yeah.
which really helped us to like get our basics better. So we use that to better our website, to see legal stuff sorted. So like just to get more, I guess, make ourselves seem more serious and gear us up for that investment piece.
I love that.
Yeah, I'd love to bootstrap as long as possible, and everyone was always like, bootstrap, you have to bootstrap, but I'm like, I don't know when I'm going to be able to develop a new product. Like me and my sister are sat there like,
we can't,
when can we can't like keep going.
It can't.
We can like keep the cogs turning.
What you've got,
Yeah, exactly.
but you can't just like venture out. Like that's not how it works, guys.
Yeah, there's nothing new. There's no new products coming until that comes in, right?
And it's so interesting because I launched my Kickstarter on crowdfunding, and that only paid for my SPF testing.
Really?
Yes. It only paid for my SPF testing. And I don't tell people about that, but it actually, just paid for my SPF testing, and I've got to figure out the
Yeah, this is the thing, but this is where spaces like this are important because we can speak transparently about these things. Yeah. And I guess what launched Caribé off the ground for us is we got a loan in from a friend or family. I was literally thinking on the tube on the way in, there's not a chance that we would have been able to do a lot of this stuff without that. And that's the case for so many other founders and so many other brands. Like there's so many great ideas out there.
Yeah.
But the landscape is like impossible to navigate, especially if you don't network or have a network.
Or even have a supportive, like
100%.
Like people around you. I think that definitely matters.
The support system's huge.
Yeah. You lean on people as much as you can.
Yeah, so. And time as well. If your job warrants for you to be able to have time outside of work to, build those relationships and get into those spaces, then it can be helpful.
Beauty and skin care space is dominated by big players. How have you navigated this challenge? And is there any advice you would give to other founders?
You know what surprised me coming into the beauty skincare space is how the big names own so many of the companies.
Oh, they do.
Like it's like big four. Like they might as well just
clear out this whole shelf.
Literally, if they weren't there, it would just be our product sat there. And that's it. It is quite interesting, but I feel like, I'm not speaking for you, but for the both of us, we both have products that are different and aren't on the market yet, and we're doing something that's different to what's out there, which is helping with not bringing into a more saturated market. Because I think myself, in the skincare world specifically, I found it so hard to filter through all the noise and like find products that are actually, I guess, doing what they're saying they're doing, and also aren't just a repeat of another thing that's white labeled. White labeling is also fascinating.
That's true. It's a crazy thing, isn't it? And I don't think I would like white label like our SPF product at all. I just couldn't. I couldn't have it in my heart.
Well, exactly.
I just couldn't. I couldn't do it. I couldn't white label our SPF product. It's such a busy market. But someone actually gave me good advice. No, they asked me this question. They went, I was like, so we're the first SPF brand that helps to reduce stress and is mood boosting. They were like, oh, it's tough to be the first, isn't it? I was like, actually, yeah.
You know what? Yeah. No, that's the thing as well, because you're also, like, for us, we're really trying to educate a whole section of people about tanning.
Exactly.
Which is, again, like, a difficult thing to do, because we're trying to say, like, it's changing a consumer behavior by saying you can use this product as well. Yeah. And also changing the bad opinions that people have on tanning. You're
basically like breaking like generational like
literally. Do you know
like
how much
content,
the whitening market is like $1 billion industry?
Yeah, I can imagine.
And when we're literally tackling that. Yeah. We're tackling tanning and we're tackling sun
That's crazy.
care all at the same time. Yeah. And it's like this huge educational piece that we know is such an important element. Yeah. And like, you know, from what you're doing as well, the education bit is
it's heavy. Like I feel like in terms of like dominating like big players, so my background is buying, so I used to be a buyer at several retailers, so always been very clued on like newness or any brands are bringing in, and I knew there was like a gap for like my brand. I wasn't seeing anything new in the space, so I felt like what I was creating could kind of, you know, not look like the other brands. But also, we actually got funded by L'Oreal in our Kickstarter, so that was pretty cool. Huge. And, you know, it just, you know, give me that sort of like sense that, you know, like, wait, look, if L'Oreal can back us, we don't know what the future could be for like BEAME, like at the end of the day. So I feel like there's always space for brands to dominate the market. There's loads of brands that even do the same thing. Like, like the deodorant brands, like they literally look the same.
You literally, not to name them, but
they literally look the same, and they can do it. So like, I feel like there's always space for everyone.
Yeah, 100%. Because it's just so much of it is about people feeling attached to the brand that you're building.
Yeah.
Because there's always going to be products that, yes, they're done, but they're not done well.
No. Like, and it's you that's built, bringing this brand to life. So like, even if like we get copied or anything, I know for a fact that I've created it first, or, I've brought this to market, I don't really need to prove to anyone that I did it first,
100%.
And if I'm honest, I then feel like more like, like I've maybe opened your eyes a bit. So I obviously know what I'm doing. And that means I have, the mindset and the, brain to create new products that are like equally even better. So
yeah, you've started a new market basically.
Yeah.
Like this is the same with us. We've started a whole new market. Like
literally.
You're opening up the industry to be more...
bigger.
Yeah, bigger.
Yeah. And
bringing more money for everyone.
so I like this space for everyone. But I would say how I've navigated it is just having that mindset. And I would say if I had any advice to any founders, just be clear on like what you're building, and make sure you are able to identify your competitors and literally everything about your brand. And I think one thing I see people not doing is actually solving an actual problem, and just creating a brand for the sake of like, just
for the sake of creating a brand.
Yeah.
I agree, because I think building a business is one of those things where if you don't feel attached to what you're doing and you're just doing it for the sake of creating something, then it will soon be like, people will soon work out that you're just doing this just because you want to hop on the train.
And I just feel like when you are solving a problem, your audience are drawn to the brand. They're drawn to you, even if you want to be like, put your story out there, they're drawn to your story if you're solving something that they experience. And I feel like those are the brands that really do well. You're solving an actual problem in the world or in the community or anything like that. So that would be my advice, that you're actually solving an actual problem of your product that you're creating.
What do you think about founders sharing their stories? Because I guess at two minds to this, because you've obviously got some controversy that's happening right now.
Yeah.
With, I'm not going to say the name, but like there's controversy happening around, obviously founders share their stories. People then obviously look into that more because they start to become more successful, and you're seeing both sides of the brand and the person. I think it's beneficial for businesses, and I'd recommend people to do it. But then I guess I'd also say in the same breath that I have a bit of a thing with personal brands where I don't like that everyone feels like they need to brand their life now.
I get what you mean.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like just live a little bit.
Yeah.
Like you don't have to have a thing. You don't have to like go to things because this is your brand and film it.
One thing I will say is that a lot of Black founders have personal brands, because we have to sell ourselves sometimes, like well, not sell ourselves, but like sell that, like
more.
We need to sometimes do more, and we always seem to create products that are solving a problem. So I feel like that does happen. But yeah, I'm not against personal brands, but I try not to overshare as much as I can. Because I think, even when like other big brands who've, exited out of business, I don't see them having personal brands.
Yeah.
And they've exited. So why do I feel the need to divulge so much
100%.
to my audience?
Yeah.
As long as I'm solving their problem, I think we're good.
Yeah, no, literally, I agree. I think as well, the bit you just spoke about where we've solved problems for other people in our community.
Yeah.
Sabrina Elba said something once at this talk where she was like, products made with melanin in mind can be used for everyone. Products made without melanin in mind can only be used for a certain amount, certain people.
Yeah.
And I really loved that because it's so true.
Yeah.
Like we have so much more complications with our skin and have more needs to it.
Yeah.
And it can benefit everyone.
Yeah.
But that other products,
it stops there.
it stops there, which is so interesting, because then in that case it's like, well, skincare that's created by people of color, or any formula created by people of color can be used by everyone.
Do you remember that brand Mayel?
Yes.
That whole controversy with the the oil.
Yeah,
And how,
the rosemary oil.
yeah, and how people that weren't people of color were eventually using it because they were, it started to work on their hair.
Yeah.
But it's the same thing. Like, the founder obviously created the product for people of color,
Yeah.
and then it works for everyone else.
It works for everyone. And they're made amazingly
Yeah,
as well. So
yeah.
you've
So
got to try it.
It's exactly, like what you just said. So
Yeah.
that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
It's so true.
I feel like I didn't give any advice. Maybe I'll say feel attached to what you're doing and make sure that that comes across authentically.
Yeah.
That would be my advice. If you had the chance to start over, would you do anything differently or take the same path?
See, I can't tell you that because like I still have time to do that. I can't.
You still have time to start over.
Yeah. I could start over, and like we're still like young, so we can always basically when you create new products, you can. That's basically restart. That's a new life being born.
True. Oh, I love that.
So you're basically starting over.
Yeah.
But I would say one thing I really wish I had paid and done more attention towards is hiring someone to really follow process through of my product, because it involves a lot of testing and speaking to my manufacturer, speaking to my chemists. So I would have liked someone to follow the product's life cycle and sort of really hammering in, chasing people, phoning people.
Yeah.
Where is this report? I wish I had someone in charge of the product, like a virtual assistant.
Yeah.
That literally just did that for me. And I think that's what I will be doing going forward, because as founders and as a solo founder, I wear so many hats, and so I've got to do so much, and sometimes the detail I pay into things is a bit sometimes I glance at things, I'm like, yeah, but then I'm just like, oh my God, I should have focused deeper into that.
Yeah.
And also that does come from me still working a full-time job as well as doing BEAME. So that is the only issue. I think I would have said, right now, I probably would have gotten someone to manage the product process alongside me, so that we were both on top of it at the same time, I think. Yeah.
See, I'm a big believer in, I don't know if we'd be here if I had changed anything in what we did already.
That's true.
But having said that, what I would have done more of, I'd probably say, is not complacent, but not kind of just accepted a steady, we're growing, this is good, not working enough on it. But I don't think you can ever work. I feel like I always work on it. Do you know what I mean? I don't want to burn myself out.
I know what you mean. You're just I'm just going to do it slow and steady.
Yes.
And I feel like I know exactly what you mean, because you're oh, I just want to take my, but also you do want to grow.
Exactly.
You do want the brand to grow. So you just I can't be stuck in the slow and steady.
I can't do this for 7 years.
Yeah, slow and steady is cool.
Yeah.
But you're no, actually, I want the business to grow so that I can, do more on the business. And, I would love to, eventually go full time on Beams, but I need to do more with the business.
Literally.
To do that.
Literally.
So I understand what you're saying. It's a hard one. Yeah, slow and steady is not what my goal is, personally.
Well, this is the thing. I was kind of at a point of, I didn't want to go slow and steady, but then I wanted to really enjoy every moment, because I watched so many podcasts last year, and so many people were just enjoy the moments at the beginning, because it's so much fun. It's you're building something, you're really in the rut of it, you're oh, should we do this, should we do that? There's no one really investors wise, there's no one in it with you. You're just scrambling around, and I really tried to take the most out of those moments, and embrace it. And I felt like I really did that last year, and I really enjoyed it. And I felt like I haven't got to the point of, people end up hating their business.
Yeah.
And that's where I've tried to
not get
to. And I don't know if I'd done more of that. Maybe I'd be at a different point now.
Yeah, you can't do that. You can't go, what if I had done more? No, I think you've done what you could, and onwards and upwards.
Exactly. But we just keep going, essentially. It's a run, not a sprint.
Yeah.
But maybe I was walking a little bit last year.
A slow walk.
we were walk running.
Yeah, I get it.
But now I'm sprinting.
Yeah. I feel like there is a chart on I've seen a chart, someone those entrepreneur events, they show you your progress of how it works, you stroll and then you run, and I feel like I've seen one of those.
It's got to be an analogy somewhere.
Yeah,
surely.
It is what I've seen it.
So I guess speaking about challenges that we've already discussed a little bit, but to go into it less, let's talk about the good moments. that we've had. So what has been the most enjoyable part of the journey and standout proud moments? I've got some that I want to ask you about that I'm intrigued.
I really enjoyed my brand, like I really love bringing like the brand to life. Like I'm such a creative, and I love that process. Like when I give my designer a brief, I am so excited. I go mood boards. Like that's my favorite part. Like I enjoy that part too much. I'm so excited, and I'm like, I even look at like the email and Viva, I'm like, yeah, that's good.
Yeah, she's gonna love that.
Yeah, I'm like, yeah, that's good. That's what I really enjoy.
That.
I really enjoy that. I love that element of building that brand and like and just seeing it come to life. I just love it. And you said cool moments. I would say meeting Stephen Bartlett.
That's pretty cool, the Adobe thing.
Yeah. And I've actually never listened to any of his podcasts. I'm so sorry. I probably was the worst person to ever watch.
He's like, so what do you like? What's your favourite episode?
Yeah. And everyone would be like, oh, you should ask Stephen about this. And I'm like, I don't know what that is. I'm sorry. Like
I think it's better to go into a conversation like that.
Yeah.
Less clued up.
I was a blind winner.
Yeah, I love that.
I was a blind, but yeah, meeting him was great. He was so funny and like, yeah, I thought it was pretty cool. And also being funded by L'Oreal and Adobe. And I think those are really cool. Like it made me also realize like, wow, actually, maybe I am doing something right.
What about Paris as well?
Oh my God, yeah. And
that's what I wanted to ask you about. Because that was, when I saw your name on there, I was like, oh my God, this is so cool.
I know when I went to pitch to Estee Lauder, it was pretty cool. Yeah. It was pretty cool. I couldn't believe that I was in Paris.
Yeah, that's huge.
And Estee Lauder brought me there. Yeah. So that was also a cool thing. And yeah,
I've had loads of wins in a year.
Yeah, it's been a great year. It's been a lot of work. You know how it is. It's been a lot of work, and it's been a lot of years of not seeing anything like happen for the brand. It's like you've been working on invisible things. You've not seen any results. It's just been like, you're just like, are you even doing the right thing? Like it's like where is like the result from this? You know, that's how it does feel like that.
Yeah, no, I get
like
you.
If you like, but those moments actually go right. Actually, maybe I'm onto something here. If those big brands can see that in Beam, and I'm like, we're off to a good start.
Yeah, that's so true.
That's
true. I'd probably, for us, honestly our best moments. I literally, before I came here, this girl messaged us being like, oh, just wanted to like tell you I love your product, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, oh, have you left a review yet? And she was like, no, I haven't. And then she posted this review. It was like 5 stars. She was like, this is the best thing ever. I've tried loads of tans and this is the best one. It doesn't transfer. Like, you know when you make all the claims and you just get like, everything I know back. This is right, but I'm so concerned that someone might be like, that's cool. It isn't. She literally said every single thing. It was like a textbook review that we could have asked for. And at the end of it, she was like, because she mentioned as well that she has, it's like covered up her stretch marks and she feels so much more confident. And it's like, she's really, I feel like the amount of time we've spent working on the brand and the values and the mission and like really like the grainy bits of the brand rather than just being like, here's a product, go for it. Yeah. She really embodied everything that we'd worked on. And that was such a moment where I was like, it's when you get moments so like that, it's just so good. This morning was really cool.
There we go.
Or even just like getting sometimes I get like a press email and I'm like, is this real? Why are you emailing me? I still can't get around that. And it's one of those things as well that I feel like a lot of founders don't really mention, like, oh, by the way, if you get this in your email inbox, you should reply. Because I think Vogue emailed us once and I was like, I had to email some people to be like, do you know this person at Vogue and is this legit? Like I was searching all over LinkedIn because I was like, I have no idea what this world is. Like it's so new to us. But like the other day, a magazine did a top 10 like best fake tans and we were on there. The pros and cons, all the pros were there, and the cons it said nothing to note, and I was like,
that is so
I'm never going to
cool.
stop going on about the fact that we have no cons.
No
like,
cons.
What?
I think that should be your next brand product.
No cons.
No cons.
Like there's so many moments where you like when you work so hard on it and you just have to really stop and take that in and be like, we've really done something amazing here. And especially when our community relay that back to us and we really feel like we've created something that's for them. And it's fixed our problem, but we've also helped so many people in that. And that's what really makes a difference.
It's so cool.
Yeah, it's really, really cool.
The most amazing feeling. Like, I don't know how to describe it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the best, especially when the product just... Like, when the product comes to life, it's cool. Yeah. When you get the first, like, the last sample through, but then when the reviews come through, you're like... Because it's scary.
Yeah, you're like, oh my God, you did it.
Yeah, literally.
You did
it.
It
actually works. It's not gonna...
Yeah, I know. Literally, I think the first review I got that was really... My partner was like, did you pay someone to write that? I was like, no.
Those people can be so nice as well.
I was like, I did not pay them. And I don't even know them.
Yeah, literally. Sort of friends.
Yeah, and it's not literally... I'm like, I don't know them. I was like, so I know what you mean. It's the best feeling.
It is. It really, really is.
I've got it right.
It makes everything worth it, I think. Especially like consumer products. Yeah. When the consumer themselves are saying they love it, you're like, okay, we'll do this is right.
It's the best feeling. I just fully understand. So yeah, we thought about a really cool idea to do a bundle of our products.
We did.
And I'm so excited because it's going to be the coolest thing ever. And we are basically tackling the same goal.
Well, exactly. It was interesting because we spoke, like a month ago about... like I think I said our story and you said your story, and I was like, it's so crazy that we both have a very similar background of our story, like the fact that growing up no sun cream was just let's just forget about it, and ever since then we've both gone different ways where yours is more stress and well-being related and ours is more, I guess, towards the like different options of tanning related. Tanning,
and not damaging your skin.
Exactly. And then when we come together, it just makes complete sense.
It's so aligned. And I'm just so excited, like, our consumers can like get to, I guess, we can tap into each other's like consumer base.
Yeah, 100%.
Because it's sort of like very similar. And yeah, I'm excited for the like collaboration. I think it'll be just so fun, like working with another female founder. And like literally, I think it's going to be such a fun process.
Lots of fun ideas. Really want to do like a activation in real life. I've seen there's so many cool ones that we could do, but I just...
So many ideas.
It's like running around London with a big BEAME sticker. Stick it on everyone.
But ultimately, we are going to be launching on TikTok Shop. So yes, that is going to be really cool. So we're going to be running it for 5 weeks.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So a solid month worth of bundles.
I'm excited.
Which could be really cool. Yeah. And then fun little things that will come in between that for people follow us to make sure they're aware of everything going on. And maybe a competition with loads of really fun goodies.
Yeah. Or maybe this BEAME hat.